I thought I'd have a word with people who are occupied with issues pertaining to the Middle East. I'm sure you believe that the troops who went into Afghanistan under the wings of tutelage of Rush Limbaugh feel the pain of the Muslim world. Don't expect me to be the all-wise, knowing eye over the Middle East. However, I do own a book collection about the Muslim world that shows I take interest in and think seriously about the people and the culture. And as a result, I am aware of the lack of reasonable, honest information about why we went in there and what we were doing to them. I happen to know that the people who went in came from extreme right-wing Christian militias with very little respect for the Muslim world. So I wonder if dishonesty wasn't what Biden decided he wanted no further part of. When I say he didn't cause the problems that are there, that have been left behind. The terrible weaponry that has been developed by the Western world has been used again and again by the United States without probable cause. And I see this as an objective of the Axis to make enemies for ordinary Americans like myself. So, if you think we know all the answers, I suggest you cut it out, because what we know is that the people who are guiding the policies got it wrong. That's obvious. Now, I own that library collection, but those soldiers who went in there, full of gumption and ideology, very few of them had ever cracked a book on the Middle East or had any respect for the Muslim world to begin with. They didn't think about ecological consequences, climate change, when they helped light the oil fields on fire. It's not sensible. It's insensible leadership. When it comes to the Muslim world, my sympathies, of course, were with the poor people who were struggling for recognition and power sharing in Arab Spring. Where were we? We looked at it from a practical point of view. Oh, that can't be sustained. Saudi Arabia hated Arab Spring. So they helped smash it with made in the U.S. tear gas. You say, well, the Muslims wouldn't care for McCreary. They'd go after him and see him as someone to be crushed. Well, that's a worthy, interesting issue of discussion, but I'm not going to take your word for that. I've discussed things with Muslims on a number of occasions in university environments where I found that wasn't the case. That doesn't mean that there aren't extreme Muslims that would like to be able to use me in the way that the Christian militias have sought to use me. Everybody is the all-seeing, knowing eye over the Middle East, and nobody has any answers about it. It seems to me that the real issue has to do with the powers of appreciation. I saw a book cover after talking to a friend of mine who's an artist. She has great control. She didn't know she even knew how to draw. In isolation and lockdown, very depressed, she came to discover that she could draw. And I was looking after talking to her at this picture of the